What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. The Beast is coming to Raw, so get the ambulances ready. But what other action can fans expect on the 11th July edition of the Red Brand? Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including why John Cena has cancelled on WWE, of WWE Banning Signs at Raw, a former NXT champion leaving, a legend signs a new deal with WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Dolph's mystery return. Dolph Ziggler is back on Raw, and while a return by the WWE's most talented mid-carder might seem like nothing to get excited about, Ziggler's interaction with Theory has potential. Is Ziggler jealous of Theory's accomplishments and help from Mr. McMahon? If so, what does he plan to do about it? Is the master of the zigzag looking to spoil Theory's Money in the Bank cash-in, or could it be something different, such as Ziggler taking Theory under his wing? A Theory vs Ziggler series could be exciting and a chance for Theory to remind everyone of his value in the ring. Like The Miz, Ziggler is talented enough that he can be presented then more than just a mid-carder with the right opponent and push. What do you guys think's going on with Dolph's return? Let us know in the comments down below. Number 2, you can't beat a Brock beatdown. Last night's rampage by Brock Lesnar served as a reminder that you can never go wrong with letting Lesnar loose on one or more wrestlers, dishing out destruction to whomever gets in his way, while in last night's case, Otis and Gable. At this point, the WWE is going through the motions with the build-up for Brock vs Roman, as few fans expect to see a title change. Despite the bad build-up, fans got to see a preview of the carnage to expect at SummerSlam. Number 3, Becky doesn't need to win the lottery. Becky Lynch continues to raise the bar for wrestling promos, as seen by her mocking Liv Morgan's Money in the Bank win and successful cash-in. Big Time Beck's boast that "I don't need to win the lottery because I work my ass off every week" was just what you'd expect from a heel who is still dealing with the fact that she lost the Women's Money in the Bank match and is still looking for a title shot. Becky is a classic heel in that she knows how to boast and complain about being held back at the same time. Number 3, it's always good to see R-Truth. Did you guys know R-Truth is a certified referee? Well, probably not, but then again, R-Truth's persona is so off the wall that it's easy to envision him calling a match, marrying WWE superstars and helping them in divorce court. R-Truth is always fun, and it was refreshing to see him do something besides participate in the WWE's 24/7 Championship sideshow. Number 4, Alexa and Asuka are a good tag team. Should Bliss and Asuka be doing more than teaming up for a meaningless match against Nikki Ash and Doudrop? Well, of course, but it's clear the WWE has other plans for Bianca Belair's challenges to the Raw Women's Championship right now. Nevertheless, Bliss and Asuka are a good tag team and would make excellent tag team champions if the WWE ever decided to bring the belts back. Number 5, Theory is terrific. It's not too often that fans get to see a wrestler receive a strong push and make the most of it, but then what's going on with Theory? Theory isn't taking his push for granted, and he gets better every week as an all-round wrestler. Theory isn't the tallest wrestler in the WWE, but he has the physique Vince McMahon loves, youth, and an undeniable skill in making fans want to see someone smack the smirk right off his face. In a company where new stars are rarely created, Theory is the right person in the right place at the right time. Number 6, turning up the heat. The build-up for The Miz vs Logan Paul continued, with The Miz offering Paul one last chance to team with him or face the consequences. Fans know Paul has revenge on his mind after The Miz laid him out after their tag team win at WrestleMania 38, and so far the build-up has been outstanding. While it's unknown how well Logan can do in singles action, the WWE can always book him in a tag match against The Miz and Ciampa. Number 7, is there life left in Judgment Day? Last night's segment with the Judgment Day was a step in the right direction, as Damian Priest and Finn Balor finally cut a good promo about what their group's goal is and why they're looking to rescue Dominic Mysterio from his washed-up father. The Judgment Day still needs a lot of work if the WWE wants to salvage it, including adding a notable new member and telling the writers to come up with a better way to get heat on Damian Priest than to have him tell the fans to rise up and pay respect. Priest's comments were too close to Roman Reigns' "acknowledge me," and the last thing the group needs is to be compared to its highly successful counterpart on SmackDown. But that was a good What About the Bad as number 1, a failed finish. And what in the blue hell was that finish for The Miz and Ciampa vs AJ Styles and Ezekiel match? Ciampa made a save only to be DQ'd, leaving fans and wrestlers very confused. The explanation going around is that the WWE has a secret rule that wrestlers are only allowed one save in tag team matches, but wouldn't it be smart to let the fans and wrestlers actually know that? Also, how many title matches have fans seen where multiple saves were allowed? Number 2, why is Carmella on television? By now, fans have to wonder why Carmella is still in the world title picture and apparently isn't finished with Bianca Belair. While Carmella is an obvious sideshow to an eventual Bianca vs Becky match, there are so many better wrestlers who could be taking her place. Carmella has go-away heat, and we'd rather trade her for Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. There's nothing downright ugly as Raw built things up for SummerSlam while also providing lots of entertainment in the ring. It's great to see the WWE actually building up its undercard, especially since the World Champion is nowhere to be found. What do you guys think of the Red brand this week? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first story looks at the real reason John Cena is out of SummerSlam. Why is Cena out of SummerSlam when it looked like the WWE was teasing a match between him and Theory? If you answered it's due to Cena's busy schedule, buy yourself a John Cena throwback t-shirt. At one point it looked like the 16-time world champion would wrestle a match at this year's biggest party of the summer, much as he did last year when he put Roman Reigns over. Indeed, it appeared Cena might do battle with Raw's resident upstart Theory as the two traded barbs on social media and even had a backstage confrontation during Cena's 20-year anniversary celebration on Raw. Unfortunately, it appears the highly profitable call of Hollywood is going to keep Cena busy. Brian Alvarez discussed Cena's predicament during an episode of the Wrestling Observer Live, saying, "I can confirm that John Cena is out right now in Canada filming Peacemaker Season 2. So that's why there were discussions of SummerSlam, and then he shows up on Raw and is like, I'll be back someday, I don't know when, but someday. So apparently he's filming Peacemaker instead of doing SummerSlam. While some fans hoping for a Cena vs Theory match at SummerSlam may be disappointed, the good news is that WWE didn't book the match or do anything more than just tease it. This is important due to WWE's bad habit of advertising wrestlers who they know will not appear at a show. On a brighter note, rumour has it that Cena and Theory could wrestle at next year's Showcase of the Immortals, again depending on Cena's availability. For now, fans will have to be content to wait and see if Theory successfully cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Next up, former NXT champion leaving? Is former NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai leaving NXT 2.0? Well, Dave Meltzer seems to think so and commented on Shirai's situation during a recent Wrestling Observer Radio. Io Shirai's pretty much got her foot out of the door, pretty much gone. Ringside News discussed how Io was expected to be back from an injury, but they also believe that her NXT contract is set to expire in the near future. Next up is WWE Banning Signs at Raw? Did the WWE ban signs at Raw? Well, that was the initial report from one fan who tweeted pictures of assorted signs that had been confiscated. Jerry Macy tweeted, "Hearing WWE is not laying signs in for WWE Raw tonight. Times have changed. I remember going to shows back in the day and the arenas were full of signs. They really added to the atmosphere. Tonight every sign has been confiscated so far. Here's a sample." However, as Sportskeeda noted, other fans pointed out to the presence of signs during last night's Raw, leading to questions about what the hell was going on. The WWE has confiscated signs before, and the company is likely on high alert due to the ongoing Vince McMahon scandal and the current controversy surrounding Naomi and Sasha Banks walking out on the company. They'd already deleted a sign about Sasha Banks that made it onto air, and the promotion likely wants to avoid any signs that mention Vinnie Mac's high-cost escapades. Some fans wouldn't mind if signs disappeared, as there's nothing quite as annoying as trying to watch a match while some jabroni holds their sign up the entire match. And finally, a legend signs a new deal with WWE. And last but not least, it looks like WWE made Mick Foley an offer he couldn't refuse. The Hall of Famer just announced, "I wanted to explain why my merchandise will not be available through Pro Wrestling Tees after July 31st. There is no heat or friction. I still have a great relationship with Pro Wrestling Tees. It just comes down to signing a new Legends agreement with WWE. That does give them the exclusive on t-shirts. In the meantime, the Socko sale is still taking place in November, and the 4 cheeses of Foley pizzas is still available through Powerbomb Pizza. Feel free to order as many shirts as you like through July 31st. I love seeing them at appearances." Foley thanked Pro Wrestling Tees for their great relationship and added he hopes fans understand why he's leaving. But that was the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, and also our review of Raw. Let us know, be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.